students. Myself Miss Rachna Jain, Associate Professor, Department of English, Government PG College, Rajgarh, Alwar. Today, in this video lecture, I am going to explain you the poem A Song of Radha the Milkmaid, composed by Sarojini Naidu. This is my fifth video lecture on this topic. Students, this is the concluding stanza of the poem A Song of Radha the Milkmaid. First of all, I read the stanza. I carried my gifts to the Mathura shrine. How brightly the torches were glowing. I folded my hands at the altars to pray. O shining ones, guard us by night and by day. And loudly the conch shells were blowing. But my heart was so lost in your worship, beloved. They were wroth when I cried out without knowing, Govinda, 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 Govinda. How brightly the river was flowing. Students, now I explain you the word meanings of the difficult words in simple English. Shrine. Shrine means temple. Torches. Torches means earthen lamps. Glowing means shining. Altars means a place of worship in the temple. Conch shells means seashells. Wrath means anger. Without knowing means unknowingly. Now I tell you the reference with context of these lines. Radha the milkmaid goes from the countryside to Mathura, the town where Krishna lives, first of all to sell her curds, and instead of cry, who will buy these curds that are white as clouds in the sky? What comes out is Govinda, Govinda. This happens again and again when she goes to Jamuna river with her pots, with her friends. They laugh at her when she cries Govinda, Govinda unknowingly, instead of singing with them to welcome the spring season. In these lines, the poetess says that the milkmaid Radha goes to Mathura temple to offer her gifts to the temple gods. I carried my gifts to Mathura shrine. In these lines, poetess Sarojini Naidu says that Radha, the milkmaid, goes to Mathura temple to offer her gifts to the temple gods. I stands for Radha, the milkmaid. I carried my gift to the Mathura shrine. Radha goes to Mathura temple to offer her gifts to the temple gods. How brightly the torches were glowing. At that time, when she reaches to the temple, she finds that the earthen lamps were shining brightly and their reflection were found in the river Yamuna, which shine brightly. I folded my hands at the altars to pray. Then Radha folds her hands at the place of worship. She wants to pray to God, O shining ones, guard us by night and by day. She wants to pray to the temple gods to protect the human beings day and night with their blessings. But then loudly the conch shells were blowing. Then Radha heard the priests blowing loudly the conch shells to worship the gods. But my heart was so lost in your worship, beloved. And however, Radha's heart was so lost in the worship of Lord Krishna that Govinda, 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 that instead of uttering the prayer to the lights, she unknowingly uttered the name of beloved Govinda and again and again. They were wroth when I cried out without knowing, and the worshippers as well as the priests of the temple became angry when they heard Radha uttering the name of her beloved Govinda. How brightly the river was flowing! The light of the torches in the temple made the flowing waters of the river shine brightly. So, the poetess in these lines wants to explain that when Radha goes to the Mathura temple, the torches were burning very brightly. She folds her hands at the altars to seek the blessings of the shining ones, the gods, but her heart is completely lost in the worship of Lord Krishna, and she unknowingly cries out, Govinda, Govinda. The other people in the temple are angry, but Radha is lost in her divine beloved. She goes to the temple, but she is lost in the worship of Lord Krishna alone. So, in these concluding lines, it is Radha, the eternal feminine, crying for absorption in love. She goes to Mathura temple, prays to God. She can utter only one mantra, Govinda, Govinda. The absorption of lover in the beloved can go no further. It is in such absolute absorption alone that life's highest realization consists. It is the state of the highest intensity of awareness. Radha does not care whether the people who are around her are angry with her or not. There is always the background of the river Yamuna, which has been flowing softly, gaily, and brightly. It appears that the river Yamuna is echoing Radha's Govinda, Govinda. Students, in the new beauty of this poem, you can also add the simile used by the poetess. In the first stanza, the curds that are white as the clouds in the sky, which is very appropriate and suggestive. The picture of the heifers flowing, Radha's going to Mathura fair to sell her curds, the girls dancing and singing on the banks of river Yamuna in the second stanza, All these present the atmosphere of Brij region of Lord Krishna. In the third stanza, the temple is glowing brightly with torches and the conch shells are blowing, and the devotees with folded hands are seeking the blessings of the gods. These are everyday scenes in Mathura. So students, the poem is very simple and I explain you throughout the poem. Now that's all for the day. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.